Stevie, Jan, and Don here today. Don doesn't even know how to buy himself food in the tuck shop.
And guess what I'm doing tomorrow? I'm going to try and drive in America. I'm picking up a car in the morning.
Why can't you just let Dan and me drop
Because
you
I'm
off and
sick
pick
of
you
putting
up?
on you guys. I'm sick of putting on you all the time. I've got to front it up. I've got to be brave. And I've got to get behind the wheel.
We'll be getting a text tomorrow, me and the producer.
Crashed.
What side of the road do you drive on again here?
What time are we on X? I just crashed.
On the road
You've got a fear of roundabouts, you were telling me. How long have you been
on
here?
the road again.
Thankfully, there's not many roundabouts.
Why can't you drive in America, Don? What's the problem with that?
I've done it once from California to Vegas, but it was
The
a
wrong
long
side
time
of the
ago.
road. Is
Wrong
that
side
your
of the
main
road.
thing?
Percentage chance Don drives on the wrong side of the road.
50, isn't it?
50?
50.
You're joking. It's higher than that. Higher than 50.
All right. First, sorry, before we went to Extra Time tonight on the main show, Stevie started talking about his guns.
Yeah, what was going on?
Biceps. Yeah. He's been doing a few bench presses and bicep curls. Yeah, he was. Jan, do you see Haaland starting off the season with a point to prove, especially as he was not in any international competitions, and attention has now turned to Jude, Yamal, Lautaro, etc.?
Well, I've said that before, there are so many advantages being a Norwegian. But when it comes to international tournaments, it's terrible to be a Norwegian. Imagine being in a group with Spain, Scotland, and Georgia being behind us, and they're still doing well at the European Championship. I think that Erling Haaland would start off brilliantly. He's always using his preseason. He's always using his time to get himself fit. And I think he will be brilliant at the start of the season. He will be fresh, and he will be scoring 45 goals next season as well.
He's always got something to prove, isn't he? Just because he's so good. Yeah. And everyone wants to see him. Well, not everyone, but people want to see him hit 50 goals every single season. The second he hits 20, people go, oh, he's gone. Oh, he's gone. Right, and they hit 50 the season after.
But interesting that he's compared with himself, and I think that fits him well, because that's what he's done all his career. He's still a young lad, but he's still very mature in the terms how he prepared for a season, how he prepared for training, and so on. And he's unbelievable hungry for goals.
All right, let me ask the muscle man.
Oh, she's got the giggles.
For all, for Stevie, which Premier League manager?
Oh no, I've ripped the bicep.
Oh no,
it's ripped. I must have. Yeah.
Which Premier League manager is under the most pressure to start the season off well? Ten Hag, Eddie Howe, or Arne Slot?
Ten Hag.
Eddie Howe.
Easy.
How's Eddie Howe in there?
Easy peasy. How's Eddie Howe in there?
You can ask Nedum's interior decorator.
Yeah. No, easy peasy. Ten Hag. He is way out ahead of Eddie Howe and Arne Slot.
Does he get a little bit of leeway with those injuries now?
Ten Hag?
Yes.
No.
Slot's not under amazing pressure. He hasn't kicked the ball yet. He'll be compared to Jurgen Klopp, and rightly so, but not in the opening 3-4 months of the season. That'll all be, I would imagine. Ten Hag will be the favourite to not get the sack, but he'll be under the most pressure.
See, here's the quirky thing about football. Complaining about the injuries all last season, right? And you end up winning the FA Cup. Well, if he starts complaining about all the injuries again, then what you throw back at him is, well, you won the FA Cup with all your injuries. So you can't always have it both ways.
Stevie's ready.
By the way,
Stevie's ready.
That's what happened.
And by the way, that was another fib. That was another fib he come out with, having the most injuries. Newcastle had that list.
Fib.
That was Newcastle had that.
Fibber.
I love it.
Big fibber.
I love it when Stevie gets at a face of a spin doctor when he's saying, hey, listen, this is the thing. If he gets at us, we will tell him, you won the FA Cup with that injury list, man. I love that.
Stevie came prepared this season.
I'd put the Chelsea manager before Eddie Howe.
Well, yeah,
Under a
his
bit of
name
pressure.
wasn't in here. So Maresca.
Aye.
All right. For my favourite paisano, Don.
What?
Yeah, you should know this as an Italian, right?
Oh, yeah.
Can Milan catch into this season? Can Milan catch into this season? Will Pulisic score over or under 15 goals this season? So two parts to this.
Well, no, because Inter have got the best squad. They've had it for quite a while. Pulisic, I would imagine just under. I'd go for 12-ish. Not consistent enough. Talent's there. What are you laughing at, Jan?
I go for 12-ish. I love that.
Yeah.
Good.
12-ish.
Yeah.
Well, 12-ish.
You go
Well, 12-ish is 10.
12
well,
or
12
13. What do you
Well,
go
12
for?
is 12 is 10 or 14, isn't it?
Okay.
That's what 12
okay.
means. It's 10 or 14.
Well, I'm
I
11 and 30.
That's what I'm saying. It's in the bracket of.
Don, I missed your numbers. I missed your numbers.
For all three gentlemen, if you could build the football club of your dreams from any point in time, who would you pick as the star player? Who would manage? And which stadium would they play at?
Stadium that played Anfield. Maradona would be my player. I'm not having anyone was better than Maradona.
Who's going to manage it?
Thinking Pep or Carlo.
Oh, no Shankly.
Pep. Pep the manager, Maradona player at Anfield.
I will take the new stadium of Real Madrid, the new one, as it is now. I will use that as a stadium. My star player would have been, well, you said Diego Maradona. I'm not sure he could last for like 20 or 30 years, as it seems that Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. So I will take Cristiano Ronaldo, and then I will have Sir Alex Ferguson.
Stevie.
I can't argue with Maradona.
But you have to.
A bit Liverpool and Anfield.
So what are you saying then?
Bill Shankly, sorry.
Yeah, Shankly. Okay.
Shankly.
All right. For all, the nicest place they pre-seasoned at?
I will ask you. I tell you about Middlesbrough. Okay, when we went up to the Premier League, I was in Norway, and I called Brian Robson and said, "Can I stay another week in Norway because we are going for the training camp in Norway?" And yeah, you could. And I met him at the airport in Oslo. But it seems that we were going to Sweden and nobody knew about that. So we went through from Oslo over to Sweden. And you know how English players are like. And I've been with Don in a pre-season as well.
Mm-hmm.
They ask you about everything. So if we will have Middlesbrough, so we're in Sweden. They will say, "Yeah, and where's the shop?" "I don't know. I'm not from here." And then 10 minutes later, "Yeah, and where do you think that we get? There must be a gas station or something. We could get some drinks or everything." "I'm not from here." And then we ending up living at the gas station with small cottages. And then we played some terrible teams in Sweden with Middlesbrough. It was great fun. And I think that the main thing you can go to, you see the teams today, they go into America, fantastic, everything, facilities. But back in the 90s, and Stevie back in the 80s as well, to go in a training camp, which is all about creating that team atmosphere. And I can only speak for Middlesbrough and all the seasons I had in England, those pre-seasons, and Don, I would just start laughing when I think of when I go with Don in pre-seasons with Howard Candle.
Done a couple in Norway.
Yeah, I know.
Was it actually Norway or was it?
No, it was actually Norway, because the reason why I remember it, and Jan might up, there was a bar there called the Highbury Bar. And it was amazing.
You can ask me.
Remember that, Jan? The Highbury Bar still going?
You can ask me.
And Stevie will know about. I've met so many of the generation of Stevie who's been in Norway pre-season. The only Norwegian word they knew, that was smuget, because that was a place in Oslo where they all went after the game, and they all loved it, and so did we, by the way. Fantastic place. But the training camps, it's not about the place where you're going. I think what you get into that is to create that team atmosphere. That is the main thing. If you go to USA, Norway, and think you go to Sweden or opposite, it doesn't matter.
The best place I've ever done a pre-season is El Choco in Italy, just outside of Pisa. We had a day off, went to Via Reggio, and the food was outrageous. We went there with Liverpool, and Graham Souness, I think, had been there with Glasgow Rangers. And when you go into the hotel...
I was on that trip.
You were on that trip? Yeah, you were on that trip. And when you go in the hotel...
I didn't have any food.
The iconic Milan sides of the 80s, 90s, Juve sides, all lined the wall. The food, incredible. And it was literally, we got on a bus, went round a mountain about 4 or 5 times, and right on top of the mountain was the most pristine football pitch ever. And it was absolutely gorgeous. Remember it?
But I think it's important to say that when we went to training camps, there were a bit more, not only water we were drinking, because there was some drinking as well. We have to be honest, boys, back in the days. And I remember we went with Swindon to a training camp in Portugal. And it was, of course, very, very hot. And the players came in, and John Gorman, the manager, was so happy that the players came in at 1 o'clock in the evening. And I was standing on the balcony seeing the players going out the backside, going out again, after they said hello to him in the reception. And then we had Brian Kilcline. Brian Kilcline were playing for us, the killer. And some of the young boys that have gone to a shop and get something to drink. And he wanted to teach them how to drink this Scotch whiskey. Well, we didn't see Killer for 2 days, did we, in that training camp? So that was another day, another time of football back in the days.
Another time.
Was Glenn Hussein still with us?
Yeah. Most handsome man in football.
Aye, and I can answer this for Glenn Hussein. He joined us from Fiorentina in Italy. And pre-season with them, the Italians, was getting locked away for 2 weeks. I mean, you hardly saw the light of day unless you were training. And so Glenn joined us, and we played Fiorentina as part of the deal in Switzerland. And so we played the game. We got back to where the hotel we were staying at, and we all went straight out. So we got back somewhere between 2 and 3 in the morning, and Bruce Grobbelaar and I were sharing a room, and we invited Glenn to our room for a 4-bedtime nightcap. And we were sat out in this hotel, at the back of the hotel, out on the balcony, and there was a mountain right behind us. Must have been whatever, feet high.
That's in front of you.
With the snow on. I mean, it was like somebody had actually drawn.
Not after that many drinks, it wasn't.
Somebody had actually drawn this. It was just perfect. And of course, we'd had a night out, and Glenn Hussein, and he'd been talking all night about how Fiorentina never got out. So we opened the beer, and we just went like that, cheers. And Glenn turned around to me and Bruce and went, "I love this club already." And sunk his pint. Oh dear, fantastic.
Brilliant pre-season.
Bad influences. All right. Jan, can you explain the Norwegian fans' reaction and attempts to protest VAR? I read that they threw pastries and fish cakes onto the pitch. You are the expert on fish.
Yes, they didn't throw that fish on, so he would still take me on in a run. But yeah, what I do, the protest against VAR is unbelievable in Norway. There is a combination of many things. First of all, is the Norwegian fans hate the way they can't celebrate goals and that feeling of that. Fair enough, that's their point. And also, in small football countries like Norway, we don't have all the technical equipment. So you will have 3 or 4 cameras, and it's quite hard to do VAR properly. So they are protesting. They started with tennis balls. They took that from the Bundesliga, but because they needed something that couldn't harm the players. And that there was a game between Rosenborg and Lillestrøm, and they took fish cakes. That was the start. Then they went with pastries, as you were saying. So they're throwing food onto the pitch. And actually, the Rosenborg-Lillestrøm game was quite serious. After some minutes, the game was taken off. And there is a big thing going on in Norway now. I think it will end up that they will take VAR away from the league system here. So Norway will they protest against VAR, and I think maybe they will succeed.
Good job nobody took any rock cakes, wasn't it? I fancy one of them. Oh, back of the head. Oi.
For Jan, track and field events start today in the Olympics. Sha'Carri Richardson of the US ran her 100-metre dash heat with a time of 10.94 seconds. How long would it take you to run the 100 metres now, and would the fish beat you?
Oh, I could hear that laughter behind you. I think that is the...
It would still be 10.94. 10 minutes, 94 seconds.
The thing is that I would have managed to run 100 meters. I think I would do 100 meters in 15:49. I could do that. I think I could do that. The fish, you remember that fish? The fish got better and better. Yeah, so he's more like a 400-meter runner. So I don't think I could beat him on 400 meter.
You think you could do it 15 seconds?
Get it on video, Jan.
I know, how I like to
Very
see that.
optimistic.
I'd
I
put
guess
money
that
on
is
you couldn't.
optimistic. That is
Get it
optimistic.
on video.
Isn't it?
Yeah, that's
I don't think you're doing 15.
Yeah.
No,
17?
no. Maybe 17. Maybe I'll try.
Track and field starts, is it?
I know, we were all waiting for that.
Oh,
aren't we?
no,
the cycling.
no, the Olympics are starting. Today it was 1,500 meters. Oh, we know it starts.
The proper
Now it
Olympics.
starts.
Swimming, the
Yeah.
cycling, and the athletics.
Yeah.
And
Jakob
unfortunately, no video
Ingebrigtsen,
of
Kasper Wahl.
Jan and the fish.
I know, yeah.
Thank God.
Which is always one of my favourite moments when it unexpectedly pops up. 2 questions about it, no video about it today. Anyway, thank you so much for sending in your questions. That's all we've got time for on today's Extra Time. But we'll be back tomorrow to do it all over again.